Inflation is still out of control in America, and families get sticker shock at the grocery store. Today, I read an article on foxbusiness.com written by Megan Henney, titled, "High Inflation is Costing Americans an Extra $1,000 a Month." The author of this article referenced calculations from Moody's Analytics chief economist Mark Zandi. The typical U.S. household needed to pay $227 more a month in March to purchase the same goods and services it did 1 year ago because of still high inflation. The author went on to say, Americans are paying on average $784 more each month compared with the same time 2 years ago, and $1,069 more compared with 3 years ago before the inflation crisis began. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is reality here in America. Inflation is still out of control. I have to wonder how many people have seen their wages increase in the past 3 years to the extent of inflation at the grocery store. Many Americans experience sticker shock when they have to buy food for their families. People need food to survive, and not everyone has land to grow a garden or raise livestock. If you live in a condo or an apartment or in a neighborhood with an HOA, that just is not possible. People depend on food at the grocery store to sustain themselves, and that is getting more difficult to do. My heart goes out to people all across America who are struggling, especially those with large families. I am sure there are families who have had to make difficult decisions in order to afford groceries. I have no doubt there are families that have had to choose between making their car payment on time or buying groceries, or paying their rent on time or buying groceries. Some may be able to rely on credit to buy their groceries, but that only creates more problems for their personal financial situation long term. With the level of interest being charged on credit cards, that debt can spiral out of control very quickly. The problem is, it isn't just inflation at the grocery store. To my point, the author said, housing and gasoline costs were the biggest drivers of inflation last month, accounting for more than half of the total monthly increase. Rent costs rose 0.5% for the month and are up 5.7% from the same time last year. Rising rents are concerning because higher housing costs most directly and acutely affect household budgets. Gasoline prices, meanwhile, jumped 1.7% over the course of March. They are up 1.3% when compared with the same time last year. Well, my friends, many Americans are getting impacted by inflation in every direction. It's terrible that rent is up 5.7% from the same time last year. Rent was already expensive last year. It is crazy what some apartment operators are charging for rent these days. Whatever they are advertising for rent is often not all inclusive. If you read the fine print or meet with them, you will quickly find out that you may have to pay for parking, concierge trash, internet, or cable, possibly through their provider, or renter's insurance through their provider. All of the additional costs add up pretty quickly, making the cost of an apartment cost prohibitive for many people. With regard to gasoline prices, this is something people will struggle with unless they can find a way to carpool to work or walk to work. Unfortunately, that is not always possible. In addition to gasoline prices going up, the cost of car maintenance and car insurance are also up a lot. To my point, the author said, auto insurance costs jumped for the fifth straight month, rising 22.2% from the same time period last year. Right now, many Americans are able to find a way to deal with all of this, even if that means going further into debt to survive. My big concern relates to what is going to happen if and when we see banks start to mitigate risk by reducing credit limits or closing some credit accounts altogether. What will some Americans do without access to credit? I truly worry about this. A lot of people don't even think this is a possibility, but it happened during the great financial crisis to a lot of people. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me tell you what's so bad about all of this inflation right now in America. It means American families who are struggling to cope with the cost of living are often not in a position to set aside any money for retirement. I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by Go Banking Rates and written by Gabriel Olia titled, Most Americans are $1.37 million behind on retirement savings goals, survey finds. According to the author, the average American now believes they will need $1.46 million to retire comfortably, but their actual savings are falling far short, a new Northwestern Mutual study found. According to the study, the average American has $88,400 currently saved for retirement. This means they are a whopping $1.37 million short of their goal. Well, my friends, this is pretty scary. $88,400 is only going to generate $3,536 per year in retirement income when applying the 4% rule. That's only $294.66 per month to live on, plus whatever you get from Social Security. $294.66 per month isn't even going to cover the cost of groceries for many people. Do you think Social Security is going to be enough for rent, utilities, fuel, medical, car maintenance, cell phone, and toiletries? For many people, it won't be enough, in my humble opinion. However many people are struggling financially during old age right now, I suspect it will be far worse in the future. Some people will not get an inheritance. Some people do not own any rental properties or have a pension. There are a lot of individuals who are going to rely on Social Security and a small amount of money saved in a retirement plan, which could easily be depleted when some unexpected things happen in life during retirement years. What are people going to do? Will they move in with friends or family members? Will they try living in their cars? Will they find an affordable rental and take on several roommates? Will they move to another country where the cost of living is less? I really want to know what you think the solution is to this retirement savings problem. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read another interesting article today. This one was on CNBC.com, written by Gil Malinsky, titled, "More Americans Say They Are Living Paycheck to Paycheck This Year Than in 2023. Here's Why." The author referenced CNBC and a SurveyMonkey survey, which polled 498 U.S. adults. The survey revealed that 58% of Americans consider themselves to be living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, my friends, the sample size is extremely small. However, I don't doubt the findings one bit. In fact, I am surprised it is only 58%. I would have thought it would have been a lot higher. I wonder how many of these people are living paycheck to paycheck without having to take on more debt to do that. I suspect a lot of people are relying on credit cards and buy now, pay later loans to get by. You know that some people take on more debt month after month to cope with inflation. I'm not saying everyone does this, but I am sure you know a lot of people who do this, especially if they have kids. If the kids get sick, those medical bills may go on the credit card. If the kids need some new outfit for sports at school, that goes on the credit card. If school supplies are needed, that goes on the credit card. My heart goes out to families who are struggling financially. Many are very stoic and don't let on regarding their financial struggles. I bet there are people that go to your church or people that you work with who are trying their best to keep it together financially, and they aren't letting on about their struggles. Now, here is the most interesting part of this article. The author provided details about the stressors that people are encountering who consider themselves to be living paycheck to paycheck. 69% cite inflation. 59% cite lack of savings. 28% cite rising interest rates. 33% cite credit card debt. 28% cite medical or healthcare bills. 21% cite layoffs or loss of income. And 15% cite student loans. Here are my thoughts about all of this. Despite the Fed supposedly winning the war on inflation, not enough has been done. They should not be talking about rate cuts later this year. That is ludicrous. In terms of lack of savings, I think this will get worse. Many Americans will deplete their savings as they try to survive in this inflationary environment. In terms of rising interest rates, there may be no relief in sight. Did you see the 10-year Treasury was up again today? That impacts mortgage rates. In terms of credit card debt, people should do whatever they can to pay off that debt, even if that means taking on a second job or living further beneath their means. In terms of medical or healthcare bills, I don't have a good answer for this one other than stay healthy. The medical system in America is broken. The prices charged by hospitals and doctors' offices is out of control. In terms of layoffs and loss of income, this is why everyone should have a well-funded emergency account and also a diverse skill set which allows them to pivot quickly and secure new employment. With regard to student loans, don't worry. Our president is supposedly going to forgive some of them soon. Let's see if that comes to fruition. If it were me, I wouldn't be banking on that. I'd be living cheap and looking for ways to increase my income so I could pay off my own student loans. If I took out the loans, I would honor my financial obligation and pay them off. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with all of this. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.